Alright, Internet, today we're going to be doing a movie review. I'm a big fan of scary movies and action movies, so I figured, hey, why not do some reviews on scary movies and action movies. And today we got a horror film. It's called The Collection. It was released 2012, last year. And yeah, I'm going to try to keep it informative and hopefully entertaining. So here we go. The movie The Collection is a sequel to the movie The Collector, which was released in 2009. And I was unaware of that when I saw this film. I remember seeing previews for The Collector, but it didn't seem very interesting to me. But the previews for this movie did, so when it came out on DVD, I mean, I only checked it out like a couple of days ago. The Collection, in this movie there's a mass murderer whose name is the Collector, is what the media calls him, I guess. And he's going on this insane killing spree, just, you know, taking people down left and right, abducting them, torturing them, murdering them. And he's been doing it for years, I guess, and nobody's been able to catch him because this world is populated by the worst police ever. The main character is a woman named Elena who goes to a party with her friends. She ends up getting captured by the Collector, and her father is this super rich dude who hires this team of bounty hunters to find his daughter and kill the Collector because the cops are god-awful and, you know, they can't seem to get the guy. So the bounty hunters in turn enlist the help of the one guy that has managed to get away from the Collector after all this time. And his name is Arkin. And this is a returning character from the first film. Who stars in this movie? Nobody really that you've ever heard of. Nobody big. Arkin is played by Josh Stewart. He was in the show, the TV show Dirt, which was on FX years ago. He had sex with Courtney Cox a lot on that show, so that's where I recognize him from. And Elena, who's the other main character, is played by Emma Fitzpatrick. I don't recognize her or that name. I'm not sure I've ever really seen her before, but she's there. And then also there's Pieces of Shit for Breakfast. Oh, you don't recognize that name? Okay, well maybe you need a reminder.
You're in big trouble though, pal. I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
No.
Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about is that opening. The opening of the film. Within the first 15 minutes of the movie, this guy, the Collector, manages to kill like 200 people. And it is out of control. I mean, he's ripping these people apart, and I mean literally ripping them apart. They get smashed, squished, sliced, diced, super messy, super gory, i.e. super fun to watch. Messy, it's gross, I loved it. And I haven't really seen a mass murder scene open a movie like that since the movie Ghost Ship, which came out a long time ago, early 2000s, I think. Unfortunately, aside from the awesome opening of the film, the first 15 minutes, where all these crazy death scenes occur, the rest of the death scenes throughout the film aren't really all that great, which is kind of disappointing. In fact, you know, thinking back on it, there really is only one other death scene that comes to mind as being creative and fun, but the rest of them were pretty, it's stuff you've seen before. A lot of them were just like stabbings and stuff like that, so that was kind of disappointing. That was kind of a letdown. So let's go over some of the positives about the film. What I liked was the killer's hideout, the super huge hotel that the Collector, the abandoned hotel, is where the Collector has his hideout. And the setting is almost like its own character in the film. Several scenes where there's various bits and pieces of victims that the Collector has, you know, hacked up and sewn together, and he puts them on display like an art gallery because he's a collector. And the hideout is huge. It's loaded with all kinds of nifty little traps and gizmos that are life-threatening. One thing that was interesting is that the movie has a lot of different colors in it. It really uses a large color palette. You have parts of the movie that are this like ice cold blue, and then there's deep red, there's some orange in there, yellow, different hues of green. It really spanned the color spectrum, and I mean, it looked cool. It added this. It was a B-movie feel, but it just kind of added to the aura of the film, I guess you could say. Another good thing about the film is the pacing of the film is extremely fast. And I mean, this movie does not fuck around. The collector kills those 200 people in the first 15 minutes of the movie, and then like 10 minutes later, you got the bounty hunters already breaking into his hideout, trying to rescue the girl. So yeah, it keeps that pace fast and loose throughout the entire film. And you know what? That's a good thing, because the pace helps to distract from all of the movie's massive logic flaws. This is one of those films where you definitely don't want to think too hard when you're watching it, because if you do, you're not going to enjoy the movie as much. You're going to, questions are going to come up like, how does this guy get away with killing hundreds and hundreds of people and not get caught by the police? You think they would bring in the fucking FBI or, some sort of super special secret force to deal with such a mass murderer, but no, they just have police who are terrible and can't seem to catch the guy. And what else? And it's not even the people that he's killing. He's also got piles of bodies in his hideout, which suggests even hundreds more people that he's killed. And there's people who are still alive that he has drugged and tortured out of their minds, and they're like his rabid human dog slaves. And then there's the ridiculously elaborate traps and the amount of time that the guy would have to spend setting all of this stuff up and murdering all these people and putting together this human collection of grotesque art. It's just too unbelievable if you think about it too much. And the plot is like just paper thin. It just collapses. But if you don't use your brain too much and you just take each scene as it is, go straight through the movie, you can enjoy it. It's a decent film. Alright, so let's go through the lineup. Some stuff you're going to see in this film. You've got gigantic murderous farm equipment. 2 entire buildings set up with dozens and dozens of traps. You got red boxes of doom. The worst cops on the planet. 1 bounty hunter that gets, I think, 0 lines of dialogue before he's killed. You get the body part compilation art gallery. Psycho-tortured slave people. 1 bitch that gets what she deserves. And 1 brutal face-stabbing survival. So, yeah, there's some good stuff in the film. So, my recommendation, well, the movie's best moments are definitely at the beginning. The opening is where it's at, and unfortunately, the movie never really gets back to that level as far as creativity and intensity. But the final confrontation with the collector is enjoyable. It's fun, and the ending, it's not your typical ending, which was also kind of fun. So overall, I guess I could give this movie 3 out of 5 sets of creepy collector eyes. Okay, that's going to about do it. This is JB Squared 61279. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. Each one of those I get really helps me out. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys next time.